Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eamon Adnan, and I welcome all of you to another episode of Policy Hub, organized by the Shahid Javed Barki Institute of Public Policy. Today, we have with us Dr. Nizam Ud Din, who is an international civil servant turned educationist. He has immense interest in education and development of the youth of Pakistan. His major focus is upon the skills development area to strengthen the training and capacity building of the students in all facets of life, especially in applied technology, applied sciences and technology. And to accomplish that vision of his, he has founded an institute by the name of KITAS, Khuldunia Institute of Technology and Applied Sciences. It's a Lahore-based institution. So thank you very much, sir, for being here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, the topic at hand today is the link between women empowerment and checking population growth and vice versa. So we'll be examining its impact upon one factor and the same effect on the other. Dr. Sam, please tell us something that, of course, that you've worked in the field as well. What do you think that why is so much importance placed upon empowerment of women and hence its impact on creating, decreasing or lessening the population growth?
As you may know, that population growth is primarily a decision of husband and wife or man and woman, but primarily depends on the women's decision because she is the one who is going to bear the children. If you empower her, uh, her life, then she may be able to make better decisions. So we are suggesting that if you really want to address population growth situations, you should address women's empowerment, women's education, women's health, women's economic conditions. If you improve those conditions, then population growth will automatically be affected negatively because educated women, empowered women will have fewer children because of their empowerment, because of their education, as compared to non-educated and, and poor women. This was very debated very much in the 1994 Conference of Cairo, Population Development Conference. And there we decided that the basic idea of population program should be to empower women, to educate women, and to give them resources so that they could make decisions. Ultimately, decisions are made by women when it comes to children. Although support is needed by men, but in circumstances in countries where women have done this without support of the men as well on their own because they make decisions. So overall, we argued in the Cairo conference, development is the best pill. Development is the best contraceptive. If you develop the environment, overall environment, it will help in reducing population growth. But if you empower women, educate them, and then it will be much better, faster, faster impact on the population growth. So if you really want to impact population growth, first priority should be women's rights, women's health, and women's facilities that they should enjoy, which was not the case before Cairo conference.
All right, sir. And so after that conference, do you think so that parity has sort of come down
That
or
very
made better?
it has made definitely better, and people have stopped talking about population control and just distributing pills and contraceptives. They're talking about more and more services, full services for women's health. If you give women's health services, then they will decide better. We just want to give them pills, not women's health services. That's not fair for women coming to the clinic or the center. So we want them to be fully looked after, take their health conditions and have them help them in their living reproductive health, particularly. We emphasize that.
So my next question is the impact of regulated or maybe checked population growth also have some significance for enhancing the empowerment of women and vice versa?
There have been two schools of thought on this. one school of thought says development is the best pill. If you develop, automatically a family planning program will succeed and women will, no, women will have lower fertility. Other groups said it may be true for in developed advanced countries, but in developing countries, women do not have that resources. They don't even know about contraceptives. So if you provide them information, services, and supplies, they may accept. But the case in point, the point they give it to Bangladesh. Bangladesh was not developed, was not empowered women, but they had services available throughout the system which advocated people to use family planning. So they argue that if you provide services and supplies, a large segment of population will accept. But if you wait for overall development to take place and women's empowerment to take place, it by then the whole country will have a very high fertility rate and very high population size. So in order to address that and gain the time, you should promote knowledge creation, awareness creation in the population. So both schools of thought have been working on this.
So no one school of thought has gained primacy over the other.
I think ultimately the one which talked about information, awareness creation, service provision, they have gained the momentum.
All right. And sir, education is also one of those development services, right?
Right.
So, what have been the most effective ways to empower women as you've come across in your years of service with the UN?
I think the best thing we could do, which we have seen helping women, is to provide them education.
Any particular stream of education?
First of all, basic education. They should be able to have access to information, knowledge, awareness on their own. And then they should be given, through education, opportunity to employment. And that will be empowering them economically. When they have these two tools available to them, then they can make better choices in their lives, both with regard to family size, with regard to their own future life, with regard to their children's life. So I think education and empowerment really help them. And this is what we have been focusing the UN programs, both population programs, UNIFAM programs, all programs are focusing on women's empowerment, women's education. Well, UNESCO, everybody's talking about UNESCO, women's education. That plays a critical role in the overall development as well as help the women to decide better for their own life and their family.
Fine. So education is one tool for women to actually reclaim their agency. Number one. सर उसके अलावा भी कुछ जो कि आपने प्रैक्टिस में फील्ड में देखे हैं?
The other one is about employment opportunities. When they have employment opportunities, job opportunities, they feel the pressure of jobs. Also realize how important for them to be economically empowered. So that helped them. The employment opportunities is another greatest factor that helps women to make proper decisions in their lives, including the decision about family size. The employment opportunity will be next major item. All programs should lead to overall education development, but employment of women will make a big difference.
So education and employment. Anything apart from that? Yeah, these two are the foundation. Yeah, they make the foundation, and rest can be built upon them.
These are the foundation. The third thing we talked about, women's participation in the political process. Or we have been arguing that women should be empowered to play a role in political decision making. In fact, there was a group in United Nations which talked about that women should be should play a leading role in peace negotiations because they are better peace negotiators than men.
Really?
Because they can always talk about peace, not war. So there was a whole resolution passed in United Nations that women should be given increasingly high role in peace building processes. Since then, many peace missions have women included in it. and they have seen the results. They negotiated for peace. So I think the role given to them in political decision making, both internationally and nationally, makes a big difference in their lives and in the life of the nations. So as a result, Pakistan decided also that we should have certain percentage of women in the in
Parliament.
parliament, and though it's not fully implemented, but we are much better off than many other countries in terms of women participation in political process. So even in the US, that's not that much present as compared to Pakistan.
Sir, since we are a public policy institute, so the studies that we conduct, we also see that women have also shown resentment for being a mere recipient of a development program. Many have also gone as far as to say that we need to be at the helm of affairs ourselves, so that a program is not only a hand me down thing to them, rather it's they also become a part of the policy design, the entire process, the policy process. उससे फिर ये जो political win तो मिल ही रहा है, but साथ political policy जो making process है उसमें भी they are able to sensitize the population about the policymakers, also about the plight of this particular population, segment of population. So this could also be one
I
of the
think the very important factor, as I said, in the UN, they have realized that peace negotiations are better done by women. I think development policies also, because their heart is toward the people. Women are included in the development plans, in 5-year plans, in development strategies. They can play a much positive, powerful role. But for that, we need to empower them and give them the proper role, not a secondary role as we usually do end up doing it. For example, this assembly, there are many women caucuses. There should be more women caucuses. Women groups should be organized together. There should not be just one or two women in the big jamboree of 15, 20 men and one woman. They should be given sufficient role and responsibility and balance. They can make decisions, and we should really help them in making decisions. It's not just a lip service that, oh, women we have. For example, in syndicate of university we have one woman, although they said 30% should be women, one third should be women, but they are not. Very often they are not one third even. So I would say they should go for half half. If you want to make really effective decision making and implementation, bring them at par and let them take the lead, as the UN has agreed or have seen the peace negotiations are done better by women negotiators. So we have seen that already. So we can use that in national level.
So my last question now, that how can Pakistan stand to gain from this inextricable link between population growth and empowerment of women, and how can we go towards a more equitable and more justifiable development?
You see, you can already see in Pakistan, the population program has been successful in urban centers where women are educated and they have made decisions and choices. If we only add what the women and men need in Pakistan is good quality services. There are about 18-20% men and women want to stop producing children, but they are not having good access to services. So if you do nothing except providing services, you can already help 17%, 18% men and women to practice, which means we have 35% now. If you add 17%, it will be already 50%. That's what missing, I think. Women are aware in Pakistan because of the last 35, 40 years program. Both men and women are aware. We don't need information and education. We need services, good quality services. And if those services should go to where they're living, mostly remote areas, rural areas, where there's no service available. So if you make them those services available, then they can make, as we have seen that even uneducated women are coming with their children for their health. They're aware of children's health. They come all the way protecting the children's health. If they give them the services available, they'll practice it. Either do it in Iran or Indonesia or Bangladesh.
Sir, anything that you'd like to say about the role of a policymaker about the reproductive health and family planning for women?
I would suggest that you should organize a broad policy dialogue. And the major challenge for Pakistan is provision of services. We talk a lot about their opinions, their views, religious uh, negativity. I don't think so. Only thing we need is good services. If a policy is made that let's go where the modern technology of GIS mapping, go where they are and provide the services through mobile vans and follow the Iran model. Every village has a health house. Every village has a health house. If you have a health house and provide all the services supported by mobile van services, then you can immediately reach out to those who want to practice family planning, reduce their family size. So I think the awareness has been very large because I have seen some studies in Pakistan. In Pakistan, abortion is illegal, but there are 20 million abortions taking place every month in Pakistan per married couple. Why? Because the method fail or not available, but they don't want to have children. So they go to the hospital and they make all kind of written agreement, written complaint, then they get abortifacient medicine or treatment, which shows that there is a demand for good quality services. Thank God they are not being prosecuted because they need realize the government realizes that this is if you imagine if it 200 million 20 million people are more bored because of
Yes, the population,
you know,
the burden on the
right,
resources, the burden on the carrying capacity
right,
of Pakistan, and all these things. Yes. Mm. So, sir, thank you very much for sparing some time for us today
It
and
was a pleasure.
sharing your knowledge, very much directed towards development
Yeah,
and sustainable and equitable development
right.
of Pakistan. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I told you that today's topic was about empowering women to contain population size of Pakistan. Being a developing country, we do not have that kind of carrying capacity that is expected of a developed country. However, the population growth is exponential in Pakistan. Not only in Pakistan, but you see the data of the countries of the region, you will see that although some countries are behind Pakistan in the population growth rate, some are ahead, but still the overall population of the region does not support is not supported by the resources the countries are having. Pakistan is also one of those examples, as I've already mentioned. The takeaway from today's session is that in order to contain your population growth, in order to kind of uh, ration it or to rationalize it, what is needed? Number one, education has to be provided to women. Now, that education begins with from the primary level to the basic, from the basic level to higher education, where women feel that they are able to reclaim their agency. Number one. Number two is to provide them with employment opportunities. The education that we just talked about should be leading them towards a good employment opportunity that is going to educate them further in a practical manner that population control is also within their own reach, within their own control. Number three, women require political voice. Now, that political voice can also later on be translated into sensitizing the entire population of the country about the plight of the specific segment of the entire population, that is of women. Now, when women are able to have a political voice and are able to deal with their absence that has been there over the years, they can further sensitize all the genders within the country that they are not mere recipients of the development programs. Then they are also there's a need to deliver essential services to everyone in Pakistan. Since our topic for today deals with population and women empowerment and their health and reproductive rights, such essential services should be given to women indiscriminately. As already discussed, that the Iran model can be adopted in this particular area, and with this hope that such kind of models can be adopted within Pakistan as well as they have been adopted in developing countries already, we can safely say that population can be controlled to an extent. And in the meantime, already the population is over there. Some of them can become employed and contributing citizens of the society. However, the new coming population or the incoming population that we see would also be controlled in that manner. So, with this, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our session, and we are signing off. Inshallah, see you next time. Look after yourselves. Bye bye.